Okay, chat. Hello. Wow. Hello, chat. I hope you're having a good day today. I want to preface literally anything else on the stream. I have to nip it in the bud. I have to hit it hard and fast. As a heads up, I am testing a multi-streaming program today called Restream. So if the streaming quality is dogshit, please tell me. I don't think it will be. It shouldn't affect anything. So the issue is, right, I cannot multi-stream traditionally because my internet connection is bad, put quite simply. So whenever I try to stream to, like, YouTube at the same time as Twitch, my connection will be so unstable that there is a 50-50 chance it'll take down the Twitch stream as well. Which is why I've streamed to YouTube about 7 times in the last year. And I've been, like, looking on and off for a permanent solution. And I was hoping to not have to pay for it, but I'm testing a paid program now that costs, like, $15 a month. And they are supposed to take the server load of the Restream off of you, right? That's what they're supposed to do. So whether that means that the stream quality is actually acceptable or not is a different story, and what I'm not sure of. I hope so. But if there are, like, terrible stuttering, or the quality dips to 480p, or something crazy happens, please do let me know. I really hope that won't happen, though. Because, I mean, I've paid for it, so it should work, right? Theoretically. We will have to wait and see. As a heads up, YouTube chat is turned off right now. The reason for that is simple. There are two reasons. Actually, we'll go over to mainstream and talk about it there. I mean, you can see if the quality dips way easier that way. So there are two reasons that YouTube chat is turned off, right? The first one is simple. At least as of the start of this year, if you are a Twitch partner, I'm pretty sure it's against terms of service to display the chat from a different platform on your stream. I don't know if those rules have changed in the past 10 months, and I haven't looked. I will have to look. I didn't have time last night to do it, so it is what it is. I'll see if there are other streamers that have a solution for that. Obviously, I know a few streamers that multi-stream. I will ask around, see what they do, see if that is actually still the case or not, but it won't be today. So stream chat for YouTube is off at the moment. So if you want to chill, if you're at work and you want to watch in a player that is better than the Twitch player, feel free to hop on YouTube. If you want to chat, feel free to hop on Twitch. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I've got no idea if they changed it either. I remember, like, maybe a year ago hearing about it and decided to play by what I assumed were the rules, considering I didn't have time to look everything up today. Because last night I spent like an hour figuring out what to use. I used to use something called Atom, right? The way that Atom works is it's a Twitch plugin, and it just lets you multi-stream forehead. But the problem is with Atom is that what it essentially does is it lets you stream twice at the same time, right? Which means the load of streaming twice at the same time is on your connection. You are streaming twice. Whereas Restream, which is the thing that I'm trying right now, which you pay for, you have to pay to remove the watermark, is rather than you streaming twice, you stream once into their server, and they route it to your platforms, right? Like, they bear the burden of splitting it and routing it, which is why I'm so worried about the quality being low. Like, that will be the main concern for me. That if they are splitting it, that means the onus is on them for a stable connection with high quality rather than me. So I hope it works. If so, great, I'll stop yapping about it. If not, we'll whine about it some more. Today, we are going to be continuing Deep Dungeon. We got 5 clears so far. We got 3 more to go so we can get the mount. 5 more to go till we're done with it for good. We will... Here's what we'll probably do, right? It seems good so far. Thank fuck. That's such a relief. I was genuinely really nervous. Because okay, so here's the problem, right? You also have to... You're routing through their servers instead of through, like, Twitch or YouTube, as you would be when you're normally streaming. And what that means is that if it doesn't work, I need to go and find my stream key and set everything up all again before I could stream again, so I would be late. But yeah, we will... The plan for today is we will finish that clear that we started yesterday, the matched party bard run. We need to do 81 to 100. And then if there's anybody from chat on EU who wants to join in for a few 71 to 100 runs, you're very welcome. But I'll finish this one first. We'll just yap while we do it. Waiting for content and it's coming out on Christmas? What do you mean? We just got Q40 and Q40 is fire. Good morning yourself. I hope you're doing good. But yeah, we spent like an hour talking about the 23rd of December release thing. It was a debacle, it's fair to say. I remember, like, genuinely, I think 6 months ago, something like that, my group had been, like, timelining the releases for taking time off. And we were like, 23rd of December, there's no way they'll do that, right? Oh well, we'll wait and see. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't want to spend a few hours in Deep Dungeon in order to do it, that's fine, but I don't really think the requirement is stupid. I actually like the fact that there are different requirements to enter different things. I actually think it's interesting that there's a piece of actual endgame content that isn't locked behind just farming Weekly Savage. I'm kind of a fan. We will find out this week if something happens with my static because of it or not. We will find... I mean, the static's not going to implode. We've been around a long time. We're, like, stable, but... If the situation occurs where, for example, 7 people are able to do it, and then 1 isn't, then obviously we will find a sub for prog. Everyone knows that's the case anyway. Like, if most people can and want to do hardcore prog for a tier, we will replace the one person who doesn't. It just is what it is. Everyone knows that when they sign up. But I mean, hopefully it's not the case. We've been figuring out how we're gonna deal with it, right? Yo, what's up, Queetabix? Hope you are doing good. You enjoy Quantum so far? You needed a partial lockout? Yeah, it's a really cool fight. I'm sad because I don't think the rest of the people that I cleared Quantum with are not super motivated to do reclears, but I want to go back in. I think that fight's neat. I would love to do it on another roll. I kind of want to tank it. But yeah, I've spoken to about half of my group so far. There were 5 of us are in call last night, at least. 5 including me. And everybody was either able to do it or able to find a solution, you know? So we'll see. But I've got raid tonight, which I won't be streaming because it's our first raid. And we also have new members, and I want to get everything together before I stream raid. I'll be streaming raid on Sunday, though. Sunday is our next raid after today. First raid in, like, 6 months, genuinely. Come on, pop. Pop! Smash! Pop! Yeah, we haven't... I don't think we've raided since June. Yeah, June. May, actually, even May, I think. Yeah, we haven't raided since late May. So this is our first raid since then. So I'm actually quite looking forward to it. We've cooked up some delicious fucking tiers for them. So basically, after last raid, or I suppose going into last raid tier, I took over the static. It wasn't a coup, I promise. Our old group leader quit the game last expansion, and we haven't really had like a static leader since then, and we didn't think we needed one. But over time, like the cracks of not having a group leader started to show. So we held an election. Not really an election, but we were like, okay, is anybody willing to do this? It's not fun. I know nobody wants to do it. But is anybody willing to do this? Like, take over, like, managing the group so that it's less stressful for everyone. And only 2 people said they would be willing to do it, and one of them was me. And then we were like, okay, well, everyone else can just pick, and they picked me. So so I have to do it. So, I mean, I think it's only fair that I make them suffer, right? So, alongside Taco and our 9th men, we have devised a challenge mode for T to make it really fucked up and toxic, and we're going to be starting that today, which should be fun. I'm quite looking forward to it. And hopefully that'll keep us occupied for a week or 2. We're raiding like probably twice a week from now until tier at least. Yeah, it should be fun. But I'm also gonna present it to them in a really fucked up way. I'm not gonna tell them the whole thing. I'm just going to tell them the phase they're on and what the challenge is. And when they clear the phase, they get the next one. It's like a choose your own adventure. So they don't know what special thing they have to do in Limit Cut, and they don't know what special thing they have to do in P2 until they beat P1. So it should be fun. We got some other stuff after as well. What a surprise! There is nobody queuing for Deep Dungeon floors 81 to 90 at 122 on a weekday. That's crazy. That's crazy. What a surprise. I can't believe that that's happening. Sure, it'll pop eventually, right? Surely. Yeah, like, I don't feel like there's the struggle of like being like I suppose I also forgot to talk about what I was originally talking about. I got sidetracked. But the problem of being a group that's been around for a long time, right? Like the group has been around since Stormblood. And most of the members of the current group have been playing together for like 4 or 5 years, right? And the problem with that is that you've already done everything in the game. Right? There's no like fight that you can do magically that nobody's done before or something like that. So you have to get a bit in like you have to get a bit outside the box in order to find something that constitutes valuable practice. Like there's not really anything to be gained from going in and farming through, for example. So we're doing that. Should be fun. You guys ever done min-eye level old raids? We have done we've done all of Alexander gear synced except A4S. Like gear synced being at max level with the gear that makes it like slightly harder than min-eye level. You know, the gear sheet that got put together a few years ago. We did almost all of Alex with that. We did almost all of Omega with that. We did first and second coil with that, but we haven't done final coil yet with it, but we will be doing final coil with it this tier. We've done second coil Savage, and then everything else we did like on release together, you know, everything post that. So yeah, we've done like almost everything at min-eye level. The only exception really being Final Coil, which we will be doing this time around. We did first and second coil before Cruiserweight, and we'll do Final Coil before this one. But like, we have 2 new members this time. 2 new members since last prog. Because one of our members quit the game entirely, and one quit the game but might come back next expansion. But the other one is like gone. He ain't coming back. It's done. You know. Unfortunately, nowadays we bleed members specifically because they don't like Final Fantasy anymore. We never bleed members to like drama or disagreement or anything like that. I think every member that has left over the past 2 years has left because they don't like FF14 anymore. It's so fucking rough, man. I'm trying to think. So we lost. So Stal joined at the start of the expansion and then left after the first tier because she was quitting the game. Kirana left after Fruit because he was quitting the game. Raul left after Cruiserweight because he was quitting the game. Citrona left after Cruiserweight because he was quitting the game. Oh, man. I don't think there's anyone else this expansion. They should stop putting out dead on arrival content. So far, they just nailed Chaotic as a new thing. See, I couldn't agree with you less. I did not think Chaotic was nailed at all. Personally. I thought Chaotic had, like, huge problems, both as a fight and as a structure. I think Q40 is a way better proof of concept than Chaotic ever was. To be honest, Q40 is the highlight of my expansion so far. I'm just saying. Like, genuinely, the most fun I've had this expansion is doing Q40. I'm more than happy to spend 4 hours in Deep Dungeon if it means I get to do Q40. What you're saying is your group makes people hate the game? Yes. And we'll get you next. Well, we've got 2 new members after the last 2 people quit the game, and hopefully we can ride them out for a couple of tiers before they start hating it too. I think we have a pretty chill schedule compared to most hardcore groups, at least. Like, weren't you looking for a Fizz ranged? Yes, we were looking for a Fizz ranged for a while. It was rough, I'm gonna be honest. Why isn't this shit popping? Excuse me. Yoshida, where are the 81 to 90 players? May I have my song? Oh, yeah. Trade me. Where are you? Oh. Which one was it you wanted? Just trade me. I'll give you both. I don't know which one you need. I don't need these. There you go. Hopefully you need at least one of those. Anyway, Fizz ranged. In fact, there is a foil to the Fizz range story that makes it even better. So when Raud left, we were looking for a flex, right? Because Lonf was originally our flex. But we didn't consider it to be smart to keep her on flex, because, to be blunt, she is a better prog melee than most of the people we would have possibly brought in to play melee. So we swapped her to being the melee that will eventually be gear fed if we gear feed the melee. So she's like hard locked on melee, and then we recruited a flex instead. Which was fine because we already knew someone we wanted, who just so incidentally had already messaged me to see if we had any spots for trial. So we picked him up. That's fine, sorted, no problem. And then we needed a Fizz ranged because Citrona quit. And we recruited a Fizz ranged, right? We picked one up. And this was in July. I think late July, he joined the group. And we were like, we will start raiding in October. July turns into August. And he posts a message in static chat. Hi guys. Unfortunately, I've decided to quit Final Fantasy XIV, so I won't be able to prog with you guys. Good luck in the future. He fucking quit before we even raided once. He trialed, we picked him up, and then he quit 14. He's gone. He's done. So we had to recruit somebody else. Yeah. I didn't know we were that good at it. And you know the fucked up thing? He was actually somebody who liked phys range. I'm just saying it right there. He was a person who liked physical range DPS. That was the role that he played the most. A phys range liker in the flesh. I had heard stories about it, but I didn't know they were real. But he was one of them, and he quit the game. The person we brought on now is not a physical ranged main. He's just willing to play it, which is, I feel, what most phys ranged are. They're just willing to play it. You know, I almost think it might be quicker to just do 71 to 100 and scrap these 10 floors. If it means that we can bring some people from chat in, I feel like that might actually be quicker. Because this is not popping. Phys range enjoyers are rare. Yeah, I mean, like, the problem with phys range, right, is you don't really feel a direct sense of impact on the fight from playing your job. And you also don't feel a direct sense of impact from the fight from your co-players as well, because they know it's the weakest role. There's like a really poor sense of feedback of I am contributing highly on phys range. Really like Bard. See, I think Machinist is really fun, but it's kind of arse, isn't it? So, but I think it's really fun. I like Machinist a lot. But unfortunately, if I'm given a choice between Machinist and non-phys ranged, I'm playing the non-phys range. I'll play Dragoon or Picto or Black Mage or Monk or or Samurai or any of those. I'd rather play than a phys ranged. What are your hopes and wishes for the next expansion? I mean, do I have to be realistic or can I just say what I want? Can I just say stuff, or do I have to like be for real actually? Because a lot of the things that I want, I know are not going to happen, and some of the things I want, I don't even think would be good for the game, but I want them anyway. What my heart desires almost every job to be reworked. And for their job design philosophy to instead compound upon the Stormblood design philosophy, which was the point of jobs are to be simple to pick up but hard to master. You can play a job at a respectable level fairly easily, but the core rotations have very different logic processes from job to job, but they do not follow a build gauge, spend gauge system. They follow their own unique systems and methodologies. Often they have a lot of nuance and sometimes jank, but also depth to master, but they all remain simple to play at a baseline level. That would be the number one thing. Number two thing, I want the quantum system expanded to literally everything in the game. And I want applicable rewards and a completely reworked achievement system to facilitate it. I want the achievement system to be completely reworked. No more 30k hordes. Fucking cringe. What a stupid dogshit achievement. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about 30k hordes. Nobody. Except that one guy that Vanez showed me on youtube.com last night who is farming the 30k hordes. Yeah, I watched you, buddy. I fucking watched it. It looked boring as shit. I'm sorry. I want the achievement system to be completely reworked to include actual challenge modes of content. So I want, for example, you get the Deep Dungeon solo achievement. I want achievements for doing it on each job. The same for Ultima. I want achievements for clearing on each job. You get titles for them, sure. I want achievements for clearing content in non-standard ways with special challenges that make people want to go back through them. Clear the extreme with the didgeridoo in your hand or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Figure it out. You're the creative team being paid for it, not me. You guys figure it out. I want the actually. I want the glamour system completely reworked to be like the Final Fantasy XIV mobile glamour system, where you get a glamour book where you can collect items. Once you collect it, it goes into your glamour book. You have it forever, and you can spawn it at will. What else do I want? What else do I want? Let me think. So I want the criterion scaling for everything. I want achievements reworked to have more challenges. Oh yeah, I would like more rewards than we're getting right now. I do actually see positive trending compared to last expansion, but I do think we should be doing a lot more. Trying to think what else. Can we get those ultimate weapons for the old ultimates that we were promised 2 years ago? Can we get those? That would be pog. I would take that. Actually, on the topic, can I ask for my niche little bitch complaint? Unreal Ultimates, please and thank you. Thank you very much. Give me Unreal Ultimates, and if you want, you can make that the way to get the glowy weapons on new jobs. I'm okay with that. Do that. There we go. Also, you could give us a mount from it. You farm a bunch of the fucking Unreal Ultimate, and you can ride Golden Bahamut to your heart's content. Yeah, fuck yeah, why not? But I also think I would like the Unreal system to be scaled up to more content, is what I'm saying. Not just Ultimates, but also not just Extremes. And I would like there to be a permanence to Unreal content, right? So let's say, for example, they release Coil Unreal, and they slightly retune the fights. They bring it up to present day. They release them. They are accessible forever, and slowly the Unreal like catalog grows. And you put challenge modes behind it. You put cool mounts behind it. All that shit. Blah blah blah. Gives people more stuff. Like, I think the most important thing in the game is that people have more options of things to do when the current patch content is done, right? So the way things work right now is you have a current patch with exciting new content. Next patch you will get a Savage, you will get a story dungeon, you will get like 2 hours of MSQ, you will get an Extreme, and once that's done, a lot of people log out. There is a small niche of player that doesn't log out, and instead they find something to do. This is how people start picking up big fishing and shit like that. They find something to do. You want to give them more things to find to do, right? More things that are like, oh, this is a rabbit hole of cool shit that I can do. You want more of that. Way more. And you want it to be as attractive as possible. You want the game to be full of rabbit holes, because you're never ever going to be able to release enough content to keep everyone happy. It's literally not possible, right? It's not possible. You can't make enough content to keep everyone happy. The player completes the content faster than it's developed. That's just a fact of life. That's how games work. So you need to find a way to repurpose old content, and Unreal is kind of a fire way to repurpose old content, but they have no permanence to it, and they don't incentivize players to spend a lot of time in Unreal. So it's become a system that people don't really care about, even though it was very cool when it was introduced. What else? Gearing. Fix that. Make it faster to gear alternative jobs. I would completely rework gearing, but I don't think that's quite realistic. At the very least, make it easier to gear alternative jobs. I'm okay with the gear speed of your main. That's fine. Makes sense. Yeah, you want to collect an extra month of sub revenue. It's okay. Fine. Do what you want. But speed up alt jobs at the very least. And uncap everything on the off patch. Those are the things I would like. That's what I would like. Do things to be allowed to start a new alt on. Oh yeah, you said you would like to be able to start the game on the new jobs. I could see that too, yeah. Change melds. I think it's a simple win that meld loadout should exist, right? You know how this is right now? You should have an additional cat. You see these? These are glamour plates, right? You should have meld plates as well. And you can set up meld plates with your melds, and you meld into the plate. You don't meld into the gear. And then you just apply the meld plates to your sets of gear, right? So that means that, yes, theoretically, you can use the same meld plate on a lot of pieces of gear. Yes, it would lower the demand for melds, but I don't give a shit because it's way more convenient for the player. I would rather melds lose market value than the horrible system that exists right now. Because having meld plates is so much more convenient to the player.
I do not care what they do. I'm the warrior. I know my class.
And I will see what I can do and what I cannot do. Hey, Azir.
Azir Ahmed just subscribed.
Wait, what? Why has my subbot gotten more high pitched? He had a lower pitched voice before this. I swear to God. I swear, it's a bad day, okay? Thank you so much for the resub. I hope you're doing well today. he's got all high pitched. That's fucked up. Bro, this is not popping. Thank you so much for the resub. I really appreciate it. Kind of fuck with the way mobile does. Wait, how does mobile do melts? I have kind of avoided looking too much at mobile. I didn't know they did melds in a different way. That's interesting. It's character-based? Wait. So you meld to the character? Do you get more than one slot? Like, for example, you know, like, you might meld some skill speed on Monk, for example, if you swap from... That's cool. Yeah, I like that. If you get multiple slots for the character, that's cool. I like it. That's also a viable option. Didn't they also release, like, Coil normal mode, as well as, I suppose, Coil Savage? Something like that. They released a new version of Coil. Just steal it, Square Enix. Just say, look, we gave you so much, so give us Coil. Literally let us copy and paste it. Thank you very much. I know it's not as simple as that, but... Those are my wishes, but I also know they're incredibly unrealistic. They paywalled the market board. I would believe that. Mobile games are a fucking nightmare. We're going to give this 3 more minutes, and then we're just going to go into 71 to 80 again, and hopefully it speeds up. Because this is a shit queue, I'm going to be honest. I think realistically, maybe 1/10 of what I asked for is realistic, right? For example, I think the meld plates is very realistic, and I'm shocked it hasn't already been discussed. I think that a job design philosophy reset is also realistic, but there is no way in hell that every job gets a rework in one expansion. The most you could possibly hope for is one role gets a rework per expansion. And I hope that role is fizz ranged. That's what I hope. And then next expansion will... You know, like, a few years ago, it was the year of Luigi? Next expansion can be the expansion of fizz ranged. every group has 2 fizz range because they're so fun and cool. And the samurai sat there like, why am I playing this stupid melee instead of fizz range? And it'll be great. They deserve it. Holy copium shipment. Okay, Stig, hit me with it. If you could have 3 things in FF14 changed for next expansion, no matter how unrealistic, what would they be? You think job reworks are going to happen? I think... How do I say it? I don't know if reworks are going to happen, but I do think they have clicked that players are not satisfied with the way that jobs are, and they are definitely at least rethinking how they are going to handle this. I don't know if that will result in reworks or just more changes going forward, but I do think that they've clicked that actually there are some problems with the current way of things. I don't think we're going to go back to like Stormblood era job design though, unfortunately. Expanding Unreal has 0 chance. Yeah, so the problem with expanding Unreal, like you said, is that every expansion they have to rework every fight all again, right? They have to rescale every fight, and it's just a nightmare. Which is also almost certainly the reason why there's no permanence to the fights and they remove them, because it's just a shit show to deal with. If there was an automatic system to handle it, like they built a system that will just scale the fights up, I don't know how feasible that is. That would be Pog, but I don't know if that's even realistic to do. Do I get Chitin back for free? No, you have to pay for that one. The netcode? Depends, right? To some extent, I agree. I don't think the netcode is the best, it's fair to say. I do think it's sometimes not as bad as people make out, but it's definitely got issues. I think it's fair to say. Yeah, the Dragoon rework was crazy. Memes aside, fix the jobs, make all content that's not Savage or Ultimate like 30% harder so I don't sleep, and honestly make loot more interesting. Yeah, I think loot is, unfortunately, that ship has sailed, right? I would like that too. The other thing, if I could fix it, I would, but I know that it's impossible. I would love to see a reset of the markets in FF14 that would make the markets feel like markets again. What I mean by that is that due to a number of factors, such as submarines, the ease of crafting and gathering compared to times prior, botting, and a few other reasons, the market is just cooked. It's just cooked. Everything, Gil is worthless. It's really easy to obtain. You can either get it with 0 effort, your bot can get it for you, or if you don't want to play the game, you could just buy it on the many fucking auction houses if you want for really cheap. There's like no real Gil economy in the game, which means that everything is worthless. Which creates the problem that if you ever want to add things in the game that are market tradable, well, it's all worthless then, because it's so easy to get the Gil for that. This is another Pandora's box that they've opened and there is no closing it anymore, but if we're talking about unrealistic requests, I would make crafting and gathering harder again, the way it was in Heavensward or so. I would crack down hard on bots. I would fix the submarine thing. I would not let people just farm free Gil from it. And it would hopefully have the byproduct of lowering the inflation that's happening on the market board right now. That would bring value to Gil again, basically. FF is like the only MMO where gold is so useless. Yeah, like I said, so the last like few months I've been playing a lot of Guild Wars 2, right? And I was shocked, because FF is my first MMO. I was shocked at how good gold is. I was like, oh my god, I can do so much with it. It's insane. There are so many things that are like, earn this much money. And earning that much money takes a lot of effort. And you do it, and you're like, oh shit, I played the game for like a week straight, I got this much money, and now I can get the cool thing. Whereas this game, it's like automated. When's the end of the month? End of the month. It's in a few weeks. Okay, fuck it. Chat, would anybody like to do Deep Dungeon? We're going to delete this save and start from 70 again. It is what it is. It'll be quicker. I'll put up a PF. If actually, I'll wait. If you would like to run 71 to 100, let me know in the chat and I'll put up a PF. If not, I'm going to queue because I think 71 to 100 will fill. But 81 is a struggle right now. Problem is, Stig, I'm not up to date on Guild Wars 2. I'm only in the first expansion. And because I'm a moron, for chat's sake, because I'm a moron, I've decided to play it in a very specific way, which means I need to go through it expansion by expansion. Because Guild Wars 2 is not like FF14, right? You know, in FF14, you have to play through it in order. Square Enix releases it in an order, and you have to play it in that order. That's not the case for Guild Wars. Guild Wars, you can just skip the story and go like to the new stuff if you want. You do what you want. The world is your oyster. Which is another thing I would change about FF. Could do a run in that case. I will put up a PF. If anybody would like to join on Chaos 6996 for 171 to 100. I haven't tried the Halloween event. I'm probably going to try it this weekend with Kirana and whoever else wants to. Is my plan. But yeah, so I think the new player experience for Final Fantasy XIV is horrendous. I know I owe you Monster Hunter. I can do both. You can also do Guild Wars with us. I'm just saying. I think the new player experience for Final Fantasy XIV is horrific, to the point where FF is one of my favorite games, but I would never recommend somebody come and play FF14, ever. I couldn't do it to them. Because here's the thing. If they're coming for anything other than story, they are going to look at me like I am crazy. You know? If I'm like, oh, the raids are really cool, bro, you need to come play the raids. Like, if you come and get to endgame, we'll do the raids together. It'll be really fun. You can't do that. You're asking the guy to give up 300 hours of his life. You're like, brother, sit in a room for 10 hours a day for the next month so you can catch up. It's horrific. Otherwise, you're asking them to buy the game, buy a subscription, and buy jump potions and skip potions, and chuck themselves in at the deep end. You're asking them to do one of those two things. So if it's for a reason for anything other than story, it's like impossible to recommend for people. Hello, Gavner. How's it going? What class do I play in Guild Wars 2? Necro. Right now, I've been playing Reaper. Alright, Gavner. I'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll go in. We'll go in with what we got. Yeah, that's a good point. I did see that. There was a post on the Lodestone very recently that they're cracking down on third-party illegal keys for the game, right? And people who have bought them, they are deactivating the offending keys. And if you want, you're not going to get banned, don't worry. But if you want them, you have to pay Square Enix the real amount of money for them. So if you buy Dawntrail from a key shop for €5, like, and you get caught, well, you gotta give Daddy Yoshi his money, or he'll let you play more. Which, in a way, I respect, but I do think it's really funny. Reaper is the beginner-proof class. Yeah, it's OP, right? When we were first doing fractals as like complete beginners, everybody else was like, "Holy shit, everything's doing so much damage," and I'm just sat there like, "Well, I got 2 health bars. I don't give a fuck. I'm fine. I'm doing good." I can't imagine they'd chase someone up specifically for Endwalker. Personally, I would think that would be crazy. Okay, fuck it. Let's go. We'll do matched party still. No! I will ready check. Let me know when you have a save slot. What was it to get into PF again? Oh shit, let me put it back up. It's 6996. It's up now. It's up now. But yeah, I actually think that is the #1 challenge facing FF14, and also the #1 challenge they can consider fixing. You kind of want to run the dungeon, but you don't know if you can commit to 30 floors. You don't have to. We're going to do matched party. So if you... I'm pretty sure if it's matched party, if you dip, it doesn't matter, right? You ready? Okay. So yeah, joining PF. Oh, let me type it 1 minute. Might be. There you go. It's 6996. They could make a better game and more people would buy it instead. I mean, I think FF14 is a good game. I really like FF14. The problem is that it's hard to recommend to people because it's like if you want to play with me, you just got to get to endgame, man. You go from level 1 to 100. It'll only take you 300 hours. Oh my god, 67. Let's go. I fucking joined call with my friends after stream yesterday, and I sounded like a grandma. I'm gonna be blunt. I sounded like a grandma. Are you coming, Asti, or not? So I know whether to queue. Because I went... So guys, my chat taught me about 67 today. And they just fucking lost it. You're joining? Okay. That's what happened. And then one of them was like, I'm pretty sure it's 6-7. And I was like, oh yeah. Oh my fucking god. Luckily, half of them were in the same boat as me and were like, oh, that's a thing I've heard too. I don't understand what the kids are talking about. Oh my god. So yeah, I was like a proud like my grandchildren had just told me about a new internet meme that I could tell all the fellow grannies about. Well, oh, I've got PF up. Oops. I will ready check to make sure you all have a slot. If you have a slot, we will go. Well, we'll do fixed party because there's 4 of us. No! Somebody does not meet the requirements, which means we need to clear a save slot. No! So just as a quick heads up, every time I try and queue, it will create a save slot for everyone, even if we don't get in. So everyone check that you have a slot now, and I'll ready check for it, and then we'll go in. I'm just saying it's insane that this is the system. So I actually remembered about this yesterday, Rat. Would you be willing to send it to me again and I will do it this time? I'm so sorry. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, I forgot. We'll have some Molette. Why not? Okay, I will add it this time. Sorry. That was totally my B. I just need to I just need to sign into 7TV real quick. One sec. There we go. Wait, it didn't go off? Fuck me, man. Me and Vanessa had a horrible argument last night as well. A terrifying, horrible fight. So, for those of you that were around at the start of the expansion, right? You might remember the period of like a week where all we did was grind fates for like 12 hours a day, like fucking degenerates. And me and Vanez were racing, right, to get the what's it called, the paper glider or whatever it is, you know, the little guy. And people from chat kept gifting me tickets towards it. And Vanez was getting really mad because he was winning the race, and then I kept getting gifted certificates to overtake him. So he ended up buying like 300 of them off the market board so that he could win. And he was malding about that last night in call. Oh, it was very good. Oh, we absolutely cheated. What am I gonna say no? Absolutely not. Who am I to say no? Did you ever get the mount? Yeah, the worst thing is, when Vanez got the mount, I was no longer motivated, so I gave up. What do you mean you gave up after cheating? Well, I wasn't too invested in the race itself. I was just invested in doing the fates with the homies, right? So when I no longer had homies to do the fates with because he was done, I didn't really care about doing it anymore. You're a fraud, oh shit. Oh shit. We can pull a cream, right? Guys, help! It's a mimic! Oh! Okay. Is it not close enough? Oh, it's got a cooldown! Okay. There ain't no... What, you just... Okay, you want to know the worst thing? 1 minute. Here they are. Right here. Terali Bicolor Gemstone Voucher. You can see how far through I got. I got 267. That's when I stopped. Oh my god! Look at that! I don't know what that is. Let's see. Is that my 10,000 hordes achievement? No, 1,000. 1,000 hordes. So you're telling me if I get 29,000 more hordes, I can get 3 achievements? Whoa. Vanez! Vanez! I require assistance, VL. Oh, he did that on purpose. I'm just saying this was about the tickets, wasn't it? This was about the tickets. I knew it was about the tickets. Oh, I do have Pilgrim's Potion on my hotbar, actually. Pog. $20K, $29K is like a week max. I think I might be dead. No, I'm not dead. Okay. As far as I understand, this might be wrong, but if you hardcore specifically farm it, 10,000 takes like 50 to 70 hours. So actually kind of right. You could do it in a week if you do nothing else. That is 50 to 70 hours of literally just like, so the way they farm it, I'm pretty sure there's a third-party tool that farms it as well, but if you want to farm it quote-unquote legit, I'm pretty sure that the way that they do it is they set up a save file on like an early floor with an intuition and a sight and oh, what's it called? A magicite, right? In Heaven on High. At least this is what the one that we looked at does. So, for example, the one that we saw, it was a guy, he had set up a floor 21 save file, and he had a magicite, a sight, and an intuition. And he would go in, he would hit the sight, he would hit the intuition. If there was a horde, he would magicite and go get it and then leave. If not, he would just leave. That's how he did it without third party, and they would just do that forever. Because the horde registers even if you leave. You don't have to finish the floor set. That's what they would do. Just for dozens of hours on end doing that on repeat. I don't know why I pulled this guy. I think I just pulled him for the love of the game. We're gonna have to fight this guy, aren't we? Oh, he's sound. Oopsie. Okay, chat. I have to check something real quick. Am I still streaming? Because my bitrate on twitch.tv just said offline, and that was scary. I'm pretty sure it's because I'm using that site, though, to be streaming. I don't think I'm actually offline. Looks fine. Okay, thank fuck. You're offline. No! No! Hey, chat, is this real? No! The voices! The voices! Uh-oh. 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 Actually, uh-oh. So why does it say that I'm offline? Oh, it says I'm back now. If I just refresh the stream, it says I'm back. So it's just a glitch. Yeah, it seems okay. Okay, good. To this day, we can still hear his voice. Oh, wait. I had, like, no MP. Shit. Oh yeah, I did see that Amazon Web Services was having like crazy issues before, right? I did see that. That's true. True and real. Okay, we have to go kill stuff. There we go. I got some stuff. Oh no, this is fine. Don't worry. We're all good. We don't need those guys. Okay, Vanas. I want you to... Wait. Still on cooldown. Oh, it's still on cooldown. I'm going to the return. So now they can pull the Stone Eater. Wow, I can't believe you guys pulled the Stone Eater. Come on, guys. Awareness. Maybe we just use a... I think we keep the Bark Bombs, actually. Let's use a Bark Bomb on the boss, right? Guys, there's an accursed horde. Vanez. We still have some friends to kill. I need MP. These guys actually kind of give me. It's a bit scary, I'm going to be honest. There's 2 maze routes. Bro, imagine how quick that would have gone if we'd used those maze routes. Oh, it's okay. I think DD in groups is really chill. It's just a dumb old time. I actually think this one's quite chill solo as well, actually, I think. I'm going to pull this guy. I nearly ran into that. I was watching Taco. He's trying to solo his first deep dungeon last night. He did floor 1 to 50. He's doing it on Black Mage, which I think is kind of Giga Chad, honestly. I wish I did it on Black Mage. We're just gonna use the Bark Bomb. We'll get another one anyway. Yeah, the world first solo was on Black Mage, yeah. How quick is this guy dying? I think we do get another full cycle. We going in again? I'm just saying, if Taco was here, he would have judged me for that finisher. Thunder on the last GCD like a fool. Big ass floor. Ooh. Okay, we're all good. We'll cut this short. Okay. I wonder what job I'll play next. I think chat can pick the job for the next run. I have to go after 4 hours today. Like, it's kind of a hard lock because my raid starts 4 hours after I started stream. I want this silver. So I'm hoping we can at least get 2 full runs done. That would be cool. What are you raiding? We are starting our special T challenge mode today. But we've made T really annoying. Okay, it's not annoying. I think the challenge mode is quite fun. What we've made, but bro, what if you didn't? What if you just didn't? You have a choice. You could just not. What is the challenge mode? So here's the problem. I can't tell you because I haven't told my group, and it will leak it to them. And they're not allowed to know any phase except the first one, because otherwise they'll solve them all, and I want them to solve them in the moment. I know Vanas is right here listening. Off stream, I haven't decided yet. Because, like, technically we start raids 2 hours after I end stream, but we have 2 new members, right? So we have like a, not really an orientation, but kind of an orientation. And I'm not doing that on stream, because that would be weird, right? So I'm basically debating, do I go offline for 2 hours and then come back for a short stream, or do I just not? I haven't decided yet. I might just come back and stream it. But if I stream, it'll be 2 hours after I end. No! No! Well, there we go. Free Horde. Is it good? Yeah, we're gonna... So, I want you to tell me one fun fact about yourself and one thing that you're afraid of. No, it's basically like, so when we do prog, right? Oh, that's very kind of you, Vanas. Thank you. When we do prog, we have like, not really systems, but like ways that we work on mechanics, and like different people have different like responsibilities and shit. So for example, like we found that there's okay, wrong room. We found that there's a lot of problem with when people are trying to solve a mechanic just looking at their own POVs, which is what a lot of people naturally do, right? If you're trying to solve a mechanic, the natural thing is like, okay, I'm going to check my VOD. I'm going to see exactly what happened, and I'm going to solve it. But that actually led to more problems than it solved often, because people would be really bad at communicating what they found out. And what would often result is like a disparity in information between the people that noticed something and the people that didn't, which obviously you don't want. The biggest issue to get through in prog is getting everybody on the same page as quickly as possible. So we swapped to a system of like everybody watches the same stream when we first see a mechanic, and you'll all like watch the stream through. We'll play it at like double speed or 1.5 times speed or something, and we'll have one person whose responsibility it is to be like, okay, so this is happening, then this, then this, and this. What do we do with this? If it's obvious, we skip the last step and we just go for it. But if it's not obvious, then we like go through the steps of like drawing it out on them. Like if it's a big mechanic, we'll go through the steps of like drawing it out on a Miro board and shit like that. And different people have like different jobs in that. Like for example, this is going to sound stupid, but it helps to have people that have jobs like that. When we are doing that process, Lonf is the person who will show the POV. She, like, her job during blind progression on a new mechanic is it's her job to get good POV that we can use for VOD, right? And then Vanna, and like she'll show her POV, we'll draw on stream and figure it all out together. And then Vanessa's job is to take screenshots of the stuff that she draws on screen that might be interesting and useful and post them in the strat channel so that people don't lose access to them, right? So it's not just you save it if you need it, Vanessa will save all of them and paste them. Stuff like that, like, it's helpful to not have like crossed wires there, because everyone's fucking tired in prog, right? Everyone's knackered. They want to be putting in as little superfluous effort as they possibly can, because it's prog's tiring, right? So everybody has like a little job to do. Whoa! Okay. Everything's fine. So it's like going through all that, because it's so like for some of them it's our first time raiding with them, right? So it's so they know what other people's jobs are and what they don't have to worry about, and then also they can find something to help in that, you know. I'm not going to assign them something to do to help in that. They can like find something that they feel would add to it. They don't have to, but if they do, you know, they might have thoughts because they've been in other groups that play in other ways, you know. So that's basically it. It won't take 2 hours. It'll probably take like 45 minutes, but it's useful, I think. Fire username yourself. Like, I'll give you an example. This sounds silly, but it's actually valuable. We have somebody whose special job it is that when we go into a new fight for the first time, their job is to speedily put down the markers while everyone else pulls. Like, gets ready to start the pull. We actually have 2 people whose job that is. One of them does the numbers and one of them does the letters. I'm just saying, we go into a brand new fight with all the markers placed on the cardinals and intercardinals, and they wait 2 seconds before the first pull, and that's it. It is good. Third-party tools? How could you? Okay. I will do this res. But yeah, like we're not like, how do I say it? We're not a group that cares about like getting world first or anything like that, but it is fun for us to do better than last time, right? So after every prog, we always try and add like a couple of things that will do better the next time. So like over 5 years, it gets like the system grows. You know what I mean? No, not the humbabs. No, keep them away. Oh. Okay, good. So unfortunately, I have a 4-minute cooldown on my raise. Yeah, I mean, so we kind of feel the same. Most of my group like way prefers ultimate. I think ultimate prog is, for me at least, the most fun I have in the game. I think most people in my group would have the same opinion. And the Savage is like a prerequisite to getting to do ultimate prog. But it's still fun of its own right, at least for me. I want this one. Yoinkers! There we go. Yeah, I fucking love Cruiserweight. Cruiserweight was one of the best tiers in the last while, I think, for me. I really liked Cruiserweight. Best since Shadowbringers, I think. Okay. Wait, isn't it? Okay. That's easy. Oh, he detargeted like a bastard. Okay. Nice in and out. And the last floor set. See, I think Anabasios was okay. I didn't like light heavyweight very much. I thought M4S was boring. I thought Honeybee Lovely was like super mid. It was okay. I think it was fun in PF, and that's the only reason it was fun in PF is because people died in silly ways. It was a bit like John Pandemonium for me in that regard. I liked watching the silly ways that people would die rather than doing the fight. I think 1 was alright, 2, and I didn't really like 3 either. Can I get round in time? No. Yeah. Oh, fucking hell, sorry, I'm losing my voice. Yeah, I like turns. I like Black Cat quite a lot. I like all of this tier, actually, I quite like. I like the fights for different ways this tier. I think they're quite unique. M7's probably my least favorite, but I still do think it's cool. Oh, these are sound. I always forget the sound ones. Halicarnassus was goated. Yeah, and Omega. We got Guardian as well. I liked Guardian as well. Omega had some goated third turns. I know a lot of people didn't like Guardian. I know speedrunners fucking hated Guardian because it had the good pattern and the bad pattern. And if you got the bad pattern, it was so much worse that you would just reset. But I don't care about that stuff. So I just thought it was a fun fight. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Holy shit! Excuse me, Vanez. Thank you. That's so fucked up. That's so toxic. Yeah, I can understand why people wouldn't be motivated to do reclears anymore. To be fair, I stopped reclears way before the no ultimate announcement, but I can see why people would lose motivation to do it. Let's hope this doesn't go through walls, eh? I think we take out the Triffid first, at least I'm going to. I mean, okay, we'll take it. We need a fortune, man. We need to fortune poison fruit. That's what we need. Dooby doo boo doo boo boo. I'll pull this guy because he's annoying. So I guess we bark bomb the next floor, then we maze route a floor, and then we keep one for the boss. Pretty good. I'm gonna pull this guy. Ooh. I think that's the safe play. Okay, let's get out. That's a lot of guys. Okay, it's not the exit room. And we don't have to go through it. Fuck yeah. Ah. No accursed horde. Pepe hands. Oh, we're gonna have to go through that room. That sucks. We'll just do this. I suppose we just pull this guy, right? The exit's here. Honestly, let's just kill the Giga Chad. What's he gonna do about it? Cry? Can you not go through the wall for this? I guess you can. Wait, we gotta hoard this floor. Let's go. I didn't see him at all. Oopsie. Look at this little guy. He thinks he looks like a Yan jumping on my corpse. Okay, so then we get a bark bomb for the next floor, and then we get a bark bomb for the boss. I guess I'll pop it. Fuck it. I don't know what Karma does, but I don't want to get hit by it. Ba ba da ba ba da ba. We can pull a Giga Chad. It's okay. It's allowed. Any Giga Chad stunners? Oh no, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. Can you rant about how this is the only 100 floor dungeon where 2 million is possible? I know nothing about scoring on Deep Dungeon, and clearing with 0 chests is possible. Do you not think clearing with 0 chests would be okay in Orthos as well? I only soloed Orthos once, but it was pretty fucking chill as well. I suppose 91 to 100 on Orthos, it can be difficult or easy, heavily hinging on if you use POMs, so I suppose without chests it will be way harder. But I had all my POMs, so... There's a load of patrols coming for you, Vannes. Like a load. You probably don't want to pull them both. Are you able to run to me and res me, Vannes? Can you, like... Oh, no, you've got loads of... This might be a wipe. This might be a wipe. This might be a wipe. Look at this shit! I think this is GG, man. You need a Sawtooth dead ASAP, and then it should be fine, right? That's what you need. I'll let him cook. I'll let him cook. He's cooking. This is what you get treating floor 90-something like it's floor 10. But it's okay. I believe he can do it. Does it look like he's killed one of the Sawtooths? I think it does. I think he's done it. I think there's only one left. This is why we pay his sub. The Anhorn is only 24 mil. If it goes down 4 more mil, I'll do it. I'll buy it. I do want the Yana. No, he died! No! My book! It's okay, Vanas. It was our bad as well. We were just running around griefing. I'll already check to see if you guys go in. Damn. We inted, huh? We inted. Yeah, wait, do you only have 20 mil? Damn, okay. If it goes down to 20 mil, I'll let you get it instead. I just don't want to spend more than 20 mil because I'm stubborn. Yeah, I don't know how he had so many mobs. I was fighting one thing and then I just see a trail of mobs run at me. Why do we have so many mobs this time, though? Because I pulled them. Okay. Not played the game other than to get on for Quantum and Criterion. Yeah, that's valid. To be fair, me neither. Right now, at least, I think the healthiest relationship with FF14 I can have is to play it when I stream. Because I do enjoy the game at the moment. There's some new content that I'm having fun with. Like, I'm quite enjoying the Deep Dungeon. I'm also really liking Quantum. Quantum was fire. I want to do some more Q40 clears. But I'm not logging in outside of stream, you know? I'm not enjoying it that much right now to be doing that, so... And we're not earning gil here. We're just fucking around. Variety stream on Thursday or Friday. I can tell you the plan for the rest of the week if you want. So, tomorrow and Thursday, we are going to be playing FF14, except we can only fish. I will let you discern from that what that means. I'll tell you tomorrow if you're here. If not, then you can figure it out in the meanwhile. On Friday, we will be playing Outer Wilds, which is my first time playing the game. And then next week, I don't know how long Outer Wilds is supposed to take. Does anyone know how long that game is? I have no idea. Like, I know it's... All I know is it's not a long game, right? I think it's, like, somewhere between 10 and 20 hours, but I don't know, so... At least the plan is probably... We'll play it, like... maybe every second day next week until we finish it. It's not long. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's go. Anyway, 2 things got asked, right? Christmas incident. If you want to see my full thoughts, I had a long yap for about 40 minutes at the start of yesterday's stream about the Christmas debacle. To give you my summary opinion in 2 minutes, I think, number one, it's a shame that a lot of people have so much disdain for one another in the FF14 community that when they hear that some people are disappointed about something, their first reaction is to be happy about it. I think that's a very disappointing mentality to have, which is kind of cringe. Secondly, obviously, I'm not a fan of the fact that they're going to be releasing a Savage tier almost certainly 2 days before Christmas, or 1 day if you're in Europe. I understand that, yes, as the explainers say, yes. Did you guys know, actually, this is arcane knowledge that nobody knows except the true knowledgeable Japanesers. But actually, the Japanese don't celebrate Christmas in the same way. Did you guys know that? I bet you didn't. That's a factoid for you. But basically, I think that isn't really an excuse. Square Enix have an international audience, right? I don't expect them to recognize and plan their releases around every holiday. But I would personally think it would be smart to at least consider the very major international holidays. With that said, I actually think the problem isn't really that they're trying to release it on the 23rd and that they should shift patch like a lot of people said, but it's that they're so stuck in the tradition of releasing a patch on Tuesday and then the Savage has to come the next week that they're kind of missing the forest for the trees. It's like they tried nothing and they're all out of ideas. Whereas there are things that they could try that would actually not move the patch, but also make Savage a bit more tenable for players. As an example, use the Destiny format of releasing the patch on the Tuesday and the raid on the Friday. Which means that players that want to do hardcore progression are still getting near enough a week to try to do that before Christmas, and nobody else is put out in any way, shape, or form. In fact, you actually make a slightly more interesting race, because, number one, it is on the weekend, which means that anyone can participate if they wish. Number two, you do not have 2 weeks worth of Tombstone gears going into the raid tier, which means it's actually a more competitive raid tier and closer to minimum item level, which is more interesting. In general, I think that weekend releases for progression content is a good idea, personally. It's not like Square Enix, for the last 5 years, have patched a tier in the first 2 days anyway. You know? So we can't use that excuse. Actually, I think it's good that it's on holidays, since it's the time most people have 3 days off work. I mean, people are celebrating Christmas, right? Experience can still be the same if you truly care, so I don't think it's as simple as that. If you want my full thoughts again, you can go watch the old stream. I think that that's kind of a reductive take, actually. And it's a take that I see a lot from people who don't participate in Week 1 raiding. I think it's a bit reductive, because technically yes, but no, right? There is a level of excitement and togetherness of playing a piece of content when it is released and interacting with other people who are doing the same. That is the reason that FOMO exists in games. And as much as people don't want it to be the case, there is absolutely a huge sense of FOMO and a huge breaking of the community tie aspect of it if you don't do that on release, right? If you don't participate in it when other players do. So whilst I'm not saying that Square Enix are evil for doing this or stupid for doing this. I do think that there is a different experience playing something on release versus playing it after release. And I think that it's intentionally ignorant to pretend that's not the case, right? Not specifically to you, by the way. Like, it's just this is a thing I've seen a lot, and I've also seen it accompanied by some pretty fucking like snide remarks about people that are like upset about this, right? Yours obviously wasn't, but I've seen quite a lot of it, and it's a bit monka, if I'm going to be honest. It's a bit monka. We'll pull the worm. So I think it's actually a very reasonable take to say that yes, if you do it after release, you can still simulate blind, but you will be receiving a different gameplay experience and a different community experience, and that's just a fact. There are a lot of people in that boat who are like, yeah, it's no different, but like I hate to be elitist for a moment. Most of the people saying that I've seen are not usually people that have ever actually participated in week 1 raiding, right? It's not people who are talking from a foundation of experience, usually. Okay. Have to disagree on the family part. Yes, you spend a lot of time with during Christmas, especially the first day. Well, so here's the thing, right? Talking specifically about hardcore progression groups, usually a lot of those groups will attempt to lock in and clear in one large section with their friends, right? You have to bear in mind, a lot of people who raid in this game, this is an aging population. Most of these people don't live next to their family. A lot of people live on their own. A lot of people have to travel to be with their family. In fact, that's the case in my group. We have people who their family is abroad and they travel every Christmas. And those people are often out of commission for like a week when that happens, right? Some families also have traditions. Like Vanessa's family, for example, has traditions which take maybe not the whole day, but most of it. So it's a very personal thing, right? No, I agree. Hardcore progression is not the majority of Savage participants. I think for people who are not doing hardcore progression, it doesn't affect them anywhere near as much, right? I think I agree with you. I think that's fair to say. I also think that if you're not doing hardcore progression and you just want to go in on the first few days and like maybe you clear the first turn or the second turn and you just want to hit it with your friends, there are worse cases to happen than what is happening at the moment. There will still be cases like with the travelers, for example, who they won't be able to do it, right? Because they'll be away, they'll be traveling with their friends. It sucks for them. But I do think at least that whilst it's a small amount of the game's population, I do think that the Savage and Ultimate, at the very least, competitive races, offer enough positives for the, how do I say it, exposure of the game that it feels a little bit rubbish that people that it wouldn't be a consideration to at least give them a 2 or 3 day chunk where they can play. That's all it needs to be, right? A 2 or 3 day chunk where that can happen, and then it's like fair game, in my opinion. And I don't think it's a big ask, personally, either. I think that's the reason I see a lot of very emotional negative comments about it from people that aren't happy, because quite bluntly they don't like raiders, right? It's very fair to say there's a subsection of FF14 player who fucking hates raiders. You know, they hate the fact that they exist, and they're happy when anything happens that like is bad for them. It's a sentiment I've seen on Twitter a lot. For me personally, the way I think about it is I personally think it sucks when anybody is in a situation where a major holiday infringes their ability to try something when it releases, right? I think it sucked when Chaotic released on Christmas Eve. I think it sucked when Fru released on Thanksgiving. I also, to a lesser extent, and that's not because I'm racist, think it sucks when Top released on Chinese New Year. The reason I can totally understand why they wouldn't give a fuck about Chinese New Year's in particular is because at that time, Chinese servers did not have parity with the Western servers and the JP servers, right? So it's not really fair to expect them to honor a celebration for a country that wasn't officially supported on the servers. Rather than me saying, actually, I actually don't care about Chinese New Year. That was the reason, rather than. But I think, with that said, I understand that Square Enix can't just mold their schedule around every major holiday. That would be crazy to mold it around every major holiday. But it's fair to say that internationally, Christmas is the largest major holiday that puts the most amount of people in a situation where they can't enjoy the content and release. So whilst I found the other ones kind of sucky, Christmas is like the one, aside from New Year's, that you would think they would pay credence to, right? In my head. It's like the one. But like, so the thing about it, I went on for way more than 2 minutes. I do apologize. The thing about it is, I also think like, I've seen people say they should delay the patch until January, right? I do think that if the patch was delayed till January only for Savage, that would also be a bit fucked up. Because I think that, like you said, the number of people that do hardcore prog is quite low. I don't expect the entire patch to be moved just for people that do hardcore prog or world prog. I think that would be crazy. I think that the two realistic options, right, are you either shift the patch forward a week, whether that's realistic for Square Enix to do without having to do overtime or not is something that we're all ignorant to and we don't know. So realistically, that's something that we'll never really know the behind the scenes of. Or you either leave it as it is, or you try something new, right? And I would have loved to see them try something new with it, rather than just say, well, fuck it, we're not going to say anything about it. And I think the thing that is especially frustrating, don't change release date of the patch, but move the Savage 2 weeks. So I would agree, but I think there is one problem with that. The one problem with that is people have way more tome gear the longer you release it, because they can't really delay the tomestones release. So they would have to find a method around that, right? But what was I saying? I was saying something and I forgot what it was. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Somebody tell me what I was saying before I change topic. I've completely forgotten, man. Sorry, my brain is like cooked. Have Savage come out the same weekend as patch instead of 1 week after. That is exactly what I wanted them to try, yes. I wanted them to release the tier on the Friday, which is like Friday the 18th or Friday the 19th. Because I actually think this is healthier for a number of people. People who want to try hardcore progression, who have jobs. December's a really shitty time to try and get time off. It's a really shitty time to try and get time off work if you want to do prog. But releasing a raid with the weekend coming up means that suddenly that's not as much of an issue. It means that more people can participate. You might get new people into raiding. It means that that world progression can still happen before Christmas, because again, it takes 2 to 3 days, and it happens Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It like all in my head, I'm like, a lot of things are just better, right? It even makes the raid slightly harder because you have less tome less tome equipment. It affects nobody else in any way. There is only one thing that it negatively affects, right? In my head. And that is that if you want a quote-unquote week 1 clear, you get 4 days instead of 7, right? That's what it affects. In my head, that's okay. Because a week 1 clear is just a label, you know? I would much rather take the upside of people who might want to try raiding, having it more accessible to try in the first few days with it being on a weekend, than having 7 days to get week 1, right? But yeah, I mean, who gives a like I don't exactly. It doesn't really mean anything. You're right. I agree. Ooh, I'm gonna go here. What if I don't get involved in that? I'm not getting involved. There was a point I wanted to make, and I completely forgot about it, man. I really did. I don't know what it was. I have, like... I have really bad ADHD, right? So the moment I start talking about something else, everything else is gone. There was something I wanted to say, but I changed topic and I forgot about it, so it is what it is. That one's gone. It'll come back to me tonight at 2 a.m. when I'm laying in bed. I'll go, oh, that's what I wanted to say. But I'm very aware that I have a bit of an emotional investment in the topic, right? Because I am a hardcore raider. And honestly, getting to do hardcore with my friends is the reason I still play the game. It's like by far the most fun I have in the game. By a fucking country mile. I'm well aware that I'm like incentivized to feel that Square Enix should attempt to find some kind of solution. I'm definitely not neutral, you know? We'll use a bark bomb. But I think that realistically nothing will be said. And it will literally just be a case of you make it work or you don't raid at Christmas. It is what it is. Which is a shame. But I mean, we deal with it. We've had some fucking horrible release schedules before. Uh-oh. Was the greed worth it? They ask. He says, yes, the greed was worth it. I think that realistically, a good way to explain it, right? Like, yeah, I'm talking about the perspective a lot of the time of, like, world racers or hardcore raiders, but I don't think it's really even about all that. I actually think that what you said, Aegis, is kind of a good point that applies to everybody, right? The thing that makes FF14 so fun is doing content when all your buds are doing content. That's what makes the game good. And there is a very clear funnel in which Square Enix brings people together to do content, and that is when it releases, right? There is a mandated date. This thing comes out on this date. Come have some fucking fun with your friends. Most of them will be logging in for it. And when you make it difficult for players to naturally funnel together in that way, you like distend the entire experience in a weird, often negative way, right? I guess is the point I'm trying to make. And this one in particular mostly affects hardcore raiders, but to an extent it affects people from all different subsets of the game. It affects people who might want a party finder. If you PF after the first few days, a lot of the people that can commit that time are often the players that are very either practiced or willing to practice and will often have higher consistency, which means you're often left with parties that struggle a bit more. And if you PF with your friends and you end up at different proc points, it's really hard to line up as well. I'm dead. Similarly, I think this is a situation I made up, but I feel like this also fills a specific subset of person. People that don't raid much but are interested in getting into raiding. I feel like if the release of a raid doesn't work well for them, they might just go, well, I'll skip out on this tier and I'll try another one when it lines up nicely, you know? I think that's like totally a thing that could happen. We will see if they say anything about it on the next live letter. Yes. I think the reasonable expectation is if they don't say anything at the next live letter, patch is December 16th and Savage is the 23rd. If they do say something, that means that the plan may change. I think that's the fair assumption. That's the assumption we're making, at least, when it comes to planning out stuff for our group. I'm gone. Oh my god. Use a witching, Vannes. Use a witching. Really like dislike PFing week 1 or 2. A lot of people do that, yeah. Swear there was something about them speeding up the process. I think it was actually about slowing down the process. Honestly, Vanez, just poison fruit, man. Just poison fruit. Poison fruit. Well, specifically from slowing it down to, what was it, like 3-month cycles to like 4.5 is what it realistically ends up at, or something like that. I can't remember. I don't think they'll speed it back up, though. I don't remember it ever being mentioned. I wish I had that dream. Sounds nice. You see that guy over there? Do you think he has any Phoenix Downs? My god, it's the Altar of Return! He can do it! Press the button, Crunk! I remember seeing a post on Twitter. This is like a peak monkey's paw moment, by the way. Okay, we can, yeah. I remember seeing a post on Twitter that, for 2023, 2024, and if the tier released next year, 2025 and 2026, there would only be one raid tier per year. One Savage per year, right? So the monkey's paw has curled, and they've decided that no, that's not happening. We will release 2 raids in 2025 instead. And we will do it by releasing the second right on Christmas. I think, actually, thinking about it, you know what might be crazy? There is a world that, yeah, exactly, what Great Striker said. There is a world that is a semi-realistic world in which, if there is a raid tier in December this year, there is 0 Savage next year, not a single tier. Because in the good timeline, the expansion releases October-November. The best timeline. But is the best timeline realistic? I think it's more likely we might see a December release, which would mean that Savage comes out next January. Like, next January is in 2027 January. So that would mean an entire year without Savage tier. Not necessarily. Because we saw, what was it? In the JP, I think it was, the JP announcement, there was a line from Yoshida that was much clearer and much more positive than in the English one, that heavily hinted that we won't be waiting till 2027 for the expansion. We don't know if that's for sure, but it like hinted towards an end of 26, start of 27, rather than like a summer 27 release. The question that you would ask as a result of that is, how the fuck would they do it if they follow the traditions they normally do, which is they do the fan fests, and then a couple of months later they do the media tour, and the media tour is normally like a month or 2 before release. Like, how would they do that? They would have to change it to make it line up if that was true. Which is why I don't envy Square Enix Offense staff, because they're either scrapping the media tour, which I don't know if they. Oh, is it me? I don't know if they do that. Maybe they would. I wouldn't hate it if they did. I was very grateful to go to the last media tour. I enjoyed it, actually. It was fun. And I got a lot of work done. But if it, like, I don't envy Square Enix staff having to put on 3 fan fests into a media tour back to back to back. I think that's crazy. So I could see them trying something different and maybe doing another virtual media tour. Or sorry, to make it more clear, 3 fan fests into 3 media tours, really. Because each media tour is each region is a different event that they have to put on. They were struggling for venues. Did they say that? I don't know, actually. They might have. I have to admit, I haven't watched a live letter live for a little while. I have to admit. Or rather, okay, sorry, let me correct. I haven't watched a live letter in a little while. I don't watch it non-live either. I just look at the notes that people make. I think since like 7.1 or something, I haven't watched a live letter. Yeah. You know what I miss? I miss when Yoshida actually made letters. He used to not just do live letters, he used to also do letter from the producer. Where, like, around live letter season, he would also do the live letter, but he would write a big fucking FF14 official forum post about other stuff, like stuff that's going on at Square Enix and all that, you know? And I read a few of them recently because I've been working on like a Realm Reborn videos, right? And they're really cool and candid, and sometimes they have interesting info in them. Oh my god, wait. Okay, chat. You know I told you like 20 minutes ago that I forgot about what I was trying to say? I've remembered. The brain has remembered. I was just lagging. I've remembered. Okay, so the biggest issue I find with Square Enix releasing content on bad release dates is the fact that their communication is fucking dogshit. That's the biggest issue I have with it. The biggest issue is that their communication is dogshit. Like, it's horrible. Everybody would be upset, but they would deal with it if they knew the Savage tier was releasing on the 23rd today. But they don't know it's releasing on the 23rd today. They know it's releasing on the 23rd when they extrapolate it from previous live letter dates and the Mogtome release. Because Square Enix don't deign fit to tell their players when their content releases until a few weeks in advance. That's the biggest problem. And it's like, I get it. You fucked up once, right? Yeah, I get it. You fucked up. There was that time where they don't release stuff because they announced it once and then they fucked it up and had to delay it and they got really embarrassed. So now they don't announce it beforehand, right? Oh, he did the thing. But I don't think that's good enough personally as an excuse. I personally think that myself, probably 90% of you chat, most people that play this game would way prefer for them to say, we are aiming for this release date, subject to change, like a month or two in advance. Well, more like 2 or 3 months in advance, not a month or two. When it comes to releasing new content that players may consider taking time off work for, especially. So that those players can make real-life preparation. And also, if something happens that players aren't happy about, we're going to go hide here, then those players can get to grips with it before it happens. Think it's funny how this community are like oracles predicting release date. It's because they follow tradition, right? They very rarely deviate from tradition, which is why it's so annoying, because you can predict the patch release date with high level of certainty, but not full level of certainty, which is what makes it so annoying. And yeah, I agree. You shouldn't have to. Like I think that the player should know where they stand. It is quite simply the way I feel. The player should know where they stand. It's like the biggest issue when it comes to this stuff. We'll wait over here. Think release day shouldn't be held till live letters. I think that Square Enix should release a yearly roadmap, honestly. Or if you can't do yearly, do 6 monthly. I think they should have a 6 monthly roadmap with predicted dates for upcoming content for the next 6 months. I mean, 9 out of 10 times it doesn't deviate from that anyway. You put a big fucking asterisk subject to change asterisk in fucking bold, and then underneath you say read this, you fucking idiots, under it. There you go, done. You've got your out. If something changes, it's not your fault. Humbaba. I actually think so too. I'm gonna be real, okay? I actually support like the old school lo-fi fucking live letter system. I actually like it. I'm gonna be real. I like it. I think it's cute. MMOs and a fucking old schooly, like, it's like the Hobbits of game genres, right? It's like old-timey, it lives in the woods. Nobody who isn't living there in Hobbiton has any idea what the fuck is going on. They're just doing their own shit, getting high and fucking drinking booze. That's what they're doing. They're off in their own corner, doing their own thing. I think it's fine for them to be, like, very lo-fi and old-timey in the way that they present information. I think it's kind of wholesome. I quite like it. Do that. He's gonna explode. Don't let him explode. Even from one tier to the next, yeah, I would take even that. Do I have an opinion on Fellowship? My opinion is that I haven't played it. I own it, but I haven't played it yet. I will probably play it at some point. 1, 2, 3. Run, Vanus, run! Don't let it take you! Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna hit the Cerberus. I'm not hitting the others. I'm not getting involved. Okay, now I hit them all. Fear over. You want to try it, but your friends don't want to join, and you didn't. Yeah, that is exactly the experience that I've had. Okay. I got a nepotism key, right? And I only know one friend who has also bought the game, and they're very busy at the moment, so I haven't tried it yet, and I'm like hesitant to try it because I don't have a full party of people to play it with. I think they could be super evil and stretch ulti out on 0.5 for us. How do you mean? Sorry. Oh, I don't think they would do that. I think that would be crazy. I hope they wouldn't do that. I think it's unlikely. I think ulti will probably release on 0.51. What is Fellowship? Fellowship is it's basically a game that is just Mythic Plus from WoW. As far as I understand, it's like 4-man dungeons with scaling difficulty and modifiers and all that stuff. And it has, I think, 7 jobs, 7 classes, and it's only the dungeons, nothing else. Like, all the gear comes from dungeons as far as I know, or like you buy it as a result of currencies you get from the dungeons. All of the progression comes from doing the dungeons. There's no like open world, it's just there's a hub dungeon. They've like condensed the dungeon system from MMOs, especially particular WoW, into a standalone game, basically. And they, as far as I know, they also have like, Mythic Plus has like a rating system, I think it is. Like you get a Mythic Plus rating based on like how well you perform and shit like that. They have like a ranked system that also mimics that as well. And yeah, that's my understanding of it so far. It's one of those things that I'm like, it could be really cool, but it also sounds like the kind of game that you would really want to be playing with your friends. So that's why I'm hesitant. Excuse me, that's fucked up. There we go. More heroes than classes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. It is characters. I don't think there's any character customization. I think you can probably get like unlockable glamours for them or something. I would believe that. I'm making that up. I just think that would work. It's like World of Warcraft without the world or the Warcraft. Yes, exactly. It's like World of Warcraft, except it's Mythic Plus and only Mythic Plus. There's no world, no Warcraft, only Mythic Plus. No, I don't think they'll delay Ultimate past 7.5, like 1. The thing I can see them delaying till 7.55 though is Beastmaster. Beastmaster is like peak. We need to get players who don't raid that much to resub to the game for a bit. That's what that is. It's peak that. We sure we're getting a second ultimate in Dawntrail? 4 Hinds, so we're going here. So we're going here. We know that a second ultimate is, at least as of a patch ago, still being planned. Oh, that's nice of him. Look at that. What a nice guy. Wow. Oh, I didn't have Swift. Okay, that was stupid of me. Quick bio? Yeah, sure. They never explicitly said it was delayed. They just said it won't be coming in point 3. That is true, yeah. I think Beastmaster in 7.55 is already confirmed. You might be right. Only thing I know is it's in the 0.5 patch cycle, right? Fucking point 5 is going to be a fucking crazy patch if you think about it. You get all of the normal 0.5 stuff, which is like, you know, Alliance, Raid, Dungeon, blah, blah, blah. All the release day stuff, we know what you get every patch release day, same shit. But you also get... We get a Relic Step with a new Occult Crescent sector. We get a new Occult Crescent raid. Both of those have been promised for 0.5. We get Beastmaster. We get an ultimate. We get a Cosmic Exploration Zone. What else do we get? I think there's other stuff I'm missing as well. In 0.4, we're getting a Criterion and Blue Mage. I'll try and queue us in. I'm missing stuff as well. I'm forgetting things. Even that, though, is like so much shit. What's your copium overdose wish? For 7.5? What do you mean for 7.5? So I gave my copium overdose wish for 8.0. For 7.5, I just hope the ultimate's good. I don't even think this is copium, actually. I think this is a realistic wish. Oh, I don't like that. I'm going around the corner. My wish is that the new Fork Tower is very different to the last one. Like, very different. Careful of the guy, he's going to explode. You don't want to be near him when he explodes. That shot you guys through the wall. I'm just saying. Because I'm pretty sure that was the thing that Vanez was fighting, like, over the room, through the corridor. You wishes for the second Fork Tower to not be asked to enter? Yeah, me too. I hope that it is either content that is specifically designed for players to not want to snipe or for it to not be snipeable. Because snipers are very crungo-mungo. I actually would prefer it to be like the the Bosher ones. Honestly. I understand that I'm definitely a smaller subset of the community in this, but I think that Forked Tower and what's the Eureka one called again? I've forgotten the Eureka one's name even. Both of those were quite mid. They were okay. They did some things right. They did a lot of things wrong. I think that Delubrum was by far the best iteration on a quote-unquote hard, large-scale duty as a result of Relic Zones. It was the best iteration, and you can queue directly into that one. This is the one that goes through walls, this Yatev Vio, I'm pretty sure. But I think that whilst Delubrum did the quote-unquote hard, large-scale duty the best, it also did the dungeons, and I think the dungeons are also cool. I would prefer a new easy Bojra-style dungeon to a new Forked Tower, put it that way, personally. I would prefer a new Delubrum to either of those things, but if it was in my list of what I got, I would prefer it in that order. BA, yeah, thank you, Vanas. Valdesian Arsenal. What did Sniper Team Fortress 2 do to you? Do you remember I got into a Final Fantasy 14 drama because of snipers? Oh, that was funny. Because I was in a group that was doing Forked Tower, right? And these guys. Oh, there were two on top of each other? I didn't even see that. Okay, that's fine. These guys sniped our run, right? And okay, I'm gonna be blunt about it. They were like hardcore shit. They had no idea what they were doing, even on the first mechanic. Like no fucking clue. Half of them died to the first mechanic. You know the mechanic on the first boss that is you go in or out, and that's it. And you even get like 3 seconds to adjust because the AoE appears on the floor. They died to that, right? Almost all of them died to that. And we get one of them lives through to the second boss, right? And because he's a very smart guy, he stands in front of the tank buster and dies, yeah? He stands in front of the tank buster and dies. And we don't think anything of it. We're not raising them because they were also argumentative, right? So we just left them on the floor. We continued on with our day. We moved on. There's an official forum post. Not about our group, but about me, because I was in the run. I didn't even talk. I didn't say anything. I wasn't the tank. I didn't do anything. I was a healer in the run. But they had a forum thread about me because I was a person they recognized. And they basically harassed the group's prog for the next like month for prog and reclears. In fact, we found one of their streams, right? And what they would do is they would find the time we were scheduled to go into Fork Tower. They would all be online spamming instances at that time to snipe our run. And they would excitedly go on stream. Oh my god, there he is! There he is! Get his run! There he is! Get to the thing! We can snipe it! And then they would go on the forums and they would say that we were harassing and bullying them. And that they were just trying to play the content the way it was intended. And all that. Okay, and you want to know the kicker from all of this? This spanned an 80-page forum thread of people arguing about whether I was a heinous cunt who deserved to be killed, or whether these guys were fucking weirdos. But the kicker from this, the best part, my Square Enix representative messaged me about this thread. I will put it out there publicly. He messaged me about this thread, and he thought it was fucking hilarious. He was having the time of his life. he was like, these people are so fucking stupid. This is so funny. And he kept quoting the thread to me. So Square Enix found the thread of the people having a whiny fucking baby tantrum about me being in the run, and they thought you guys were dumb as fuck as well. And that's the end of the story. That's it. I don't want to die to a Dreamer. What you're saying is Yoshida... Yeah, Yoshida was in on it. He personally thought it was really funny. But yeah, so it was a... It was one of the... Like, for me, it was just like, oh, this is fucking annoying, man. Because... Obviously, I don't get any messages about it in-game, but it's just kind of cringe, you know? Especially that specifically I got named and attemptedly shamed, even though I wasn't to do with the thing they were pissed off about. They were like they were saying that the tank killed them intentionally. It's like, I don't know, man. If you stand in front of the tank cleave and you die, that sounds like a skill issue to me. But I wasn't a tank. I was a healer, so why am I being named and shamed? You know? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can live this. I can live this. This guy can tank it. I know he can. So yeah, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Yo, what's up, Novakin? Nova King, how's it going? Not Novakin. They also tried reporting us. They were posting that they were reporting us if we didn't raise them. Every time they sniped, every time they ended up getting in and they inevitably died to the first boss because they never learned, they would report us for not raising them. Nothing ever came of it. In the end, we reported them for harassment. Like 10 of us did. After like the third or fourth time they sniped us. It was insane. It was such an insane thread, man. I read the first like 20 pages. It was really funny. I replied at one point, but I haven't checked it since then. I know it went on for like 80 pages though. We had okay, you know that this is really sad, but it's also really funny. I have to admit. So they were French, right? And as a result, when they were like coordinating to snipe us on their stream, because we found the stream and like found the timestamps of when they were doing it for the report. We had people bringing in their friends who were French speakers so that they could translate the French into English for the report for us. It was so funny. We were like, at timestamp 1379, you can hear the guy saying blah, 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 which translates in English too. I have to admit that wasn't me, but someone in my group did. Lonf did it, actually. You gotta find someone petty enough to go in, and Lonf was that girl. She was in. She was like, fuck these guys. I'm making the report. Ness, you're the tank. You can do it.
No, I respect it. Can anyone link the thread? It was like 4 months ago. I don't have it, unfortunately. Okay, we can pull this guy. I'm gonna go out here. I will pull this guy, though. Okay, I'm just gonna face him like this. Might be. Thank you very much. That was actually the first video I made that kind of... Actually, it was the second video I made that did well. It's like, to this day, my second best performing video. I like that video. Even though it's kind of old and well, not really outdated, but... I could have made it a lot better if I made it today, but... I mean, I suppose that's how it is, right? We all growing and learning. Make a tea video? Maybe. I haven't... It's not the thing I'm actively working on, but I do have a part-done tea video. How many times I've died during whatever? I don't know. Wiped? Twice. Once during our initial prog, we died on the floor 90 boss, and then once today. I don't think any other times. Died? I don't know. We just run around like idiots, so probably a decent amount of times. Luckily, not while soloing it. Soloing it, I was locked in. Yeah, I like T2. T was the first ultimate that I did hardcore prog for. So it has like a special memory, because it was my first time doing prog that lasted more than a day. Yeah? You two fighting? Did you hear my dogs? Bum, bum, bum. Light first. Okay. Okay, we got another one in the books. Yahoo! Yahoo! What are your favorite jobs for each of the classes? Nowadays, my favorite healer is White Mage. It used to be Scholar, but current Scholar's kind of bleh. Black Mage, White Mage. I don't know if it'll be Dragoon or Monk. Probably still Dragoon. Machinist. I don't know which tank is my favorite. Probably Dark Knight. Yahoo! Thank you for the run, gamers. It was fun. I think Red Mage is my second favorite caster. I do like Red Mage at the moment, actually. Oh. Right, shall we see what we got then? We got the Barding of Eternal Darkness, which I already have. Which I already have. Okay. We will start. I can't finish this whole run because I have to go in 50 minutes, but we can start a run. Would anybody like to come? But it will have to be matched party. I'd like to tell you that your opinion about liking Dark Knight is very wrong. I would like you to reconsider. I'm gonna... do you want me to say something really crazy? You want to hear a psycho one? Proper schizo one? What job should we play next? 1 minute. Let's play Samurai. I like TBN. I think TBN and Ablation adds an interesting paradigm that I appreciate. That's my crazy take. I think that the problem are the other cooldowns, not TBN. I think the problem is that the other tanks' cooldowns are too brain dead rather than TBN being annoying and hard compared to them. Personally, I think you should make 3-hour videos every day, maybe if possible. If you can give me an extra 100 hours in the day, I can do that. No, I've only got 2 seconds left. No! No! It's all gone. Why even live? I honestly think that this is me being old. I'm willing to admit, but I think that cooldowns are too strong nowadays in general, like defensives. And that it's not just tanks it affects, but it also affects healers. Even DPS. Even considering how hard Quantum hurts. Well, I think that Quantum is the outlier in that Quantum makes the most of all the cooldowns they give you, right? But that's not the norm, unfortunately, in Savage, even in Fru, where it doesn't expect you to use all of your mitigation. If they tuned every high difficulty content like Quantum, yeah, sure, but the problem is they don't, right? So you often end up with so much excess that the entire planning aspect of your cooldowns is just gone. How do you feel about Yan? I feel things, that's for sure. Yan makes sure I feel things. Vanez was in call the first time I tanked M6, actually. He made me be the Yan tank. Which I think is fucked up, if I'm going to be honest. And there was a moment right at the end where I was like, oh shit, I've got no cooldowns left. Either these guys die or it's fucked. Oh. They pulled a spite. I see. To be fair, people weren't too happy either during the PAS tier when a lot of the outgoing damage was just mid checks. Yeah, that's why I'm like well aware that I'm not the majority. I think MAS was fine in terms of both DPS check and mitigation. Personally, I actually think that was a well-tuned raid tier. Personally. So that's why I'm like well aware I'm not the majority. The check wasn't like super difficult, but it required a mostly clean run week 1 and players who were pretty knowledgeable about how to play their job. I never felt the mitigation was particularly tight either. But I'm not going to pretend I'm also like the average healer in terms of like experience with prog, so at least I can say we never really had problems with people dying to damage in MA prog. What I chalk it up to is I think there is a significant percentage of the player base that plays healers that were just categorically not used to having to heal. Because they were so used to content that would literally just let them do nothing to any tank ever and just mitter raid wide and nothing else and move on with their day. And it was a fight that expected a little bit more from you week one in terms of healing and mitigation. And it wasn't something that they had been tested in before. I really... No, I'm sorry, guys. I want this. So I'm going to get it. PS still has this problem on week 92. Yeah. But, like, I'm well aware. Healers have had it too good for too long, and it's time they get what they do. Exactly. Okay, so I guess to say it in better words that don't make me sound like an evil cunt, to say it in a nicer way, I think that a lot of Shadowbringers and a lot of Endwalker trained healers to think that they should and could only rely on their OGCD healing, and that was enough. And fights were just, honestly, flat out, often designed to really only require OGCD healing, and it was kind of lame. So when you get a week one, which is not the standard, appear where you really did feel like you had to GCD heal to remain safe, a lot of people considered it a negative, whereas for me, I considered it a positive, right? I need to replace these with Pilgrim's Potions if we're doing Deep Dungeon. I like fights where I have to heal a lot, basically. I like fights where I think on healer, like, let's be real. I'm sorry if you've got a 99 or a 100 healer pass out there. It's not hard. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It's not hard to do. The thing that's hard and the thing that's fun on healer is figuring out a really good mitigation plan with your comp that keeps everyone safe. And when the damage is so high that that plan still needs GCD heals. And you're like, I did this really good. Everyone's so fucking safe. This is sick. We're never going to run into issues like this, no matter what. Even on, like, the bad permutation, everyone's safe. This is dope. And I'm only using 2 GCD heals, even though the damage is so high. That's what feels good. But the damage has to be high for that to feel rewarding to do, right? Excuse me. I think at least for me, I don't really do, like, optimization very much, but so this is going to sound crazy, actually. Last time I did speeds in this game was at the start of Shadowbringers. When the expansion first released, when a lot of the groups that were going to prog Eden's Gate were speed running the EX trials. So we speed ran Innocence and Titania. We had rank 1 Innocence, I'm just saying. When it was cool. But those were fights that were not hard to heal, right? And I found a lot of the time that it was just fucking slapstick submit on it and you live. Which was not as interesting to do. Okay, I was checking chat. Checking static chat even, sorry. You know what? Yeah, fuck it, we'll have him. Oh no! That was a poorly timed gap closer, I think it's fair to say. Bro was not living his best life with that one. It's tough, right? Because FF14 has this weird situation where you get the, well, healers heal people, and they're wrong. Because, yes, healers do heal, but healing and not DPSing in this game would just be it'll be a really shitty way to live, I'm going to be honest, you know? There's nowhere near enough engagement from the way the fights are designed to only have healers heal. But also there's a lot of healers that take the other side way too far. Where they only DPS. Somebody told you that neutral is a bad button because you have to GCD heal. I guess they can't even say that anymore because you get stun sign. The thing about I think that Scholar's level 100 heal is the same in that regard, right? It's one of those things that has impact moments that are not impact moments for people on farm. The impact moment is on prog or on recovery. And you need abilities that have that, right? Yeah, Seraphism does have the regen, but it's like way better when you're using GCD heals. You need to have spells like that because spells like that are what allow you to clutch and like recover when things go wrong. And they're also incidentally usually what makes you feel really fucking good and really smart as a healer when you fix something. So even though when you're super optimized and you're on farm and you're not GCD healing there, they don't feel super high value. Their value moments are elsewhere, so they still have uses, you know? Oh. We will go this way. Well, that's certainly the exit of all time. I used to love Scholar so much, man. I feel like I'll always be a hater until we get Miasma 2 back. Oh, this is no items. Oh shit. I think I'm dead here. Yeah. I didn't even notice it was no items. Who gigafold? Why are you trolling? We do a little bit. We do be doing a little bit. We'll have to pull this guy here. Wait, he does so much damage, actually. For real, he does damage. He does damage! Okay. It's all good. Let me scroll up. I think there are a couple more jobs that need no overhaul at this point. There's a lot. There's a lot, unfortunately. I think that jobs in this game are not exactly in their most interesting spot right now, it's fair to say. When did I join 14? Right before Heaven's Ward came out. I hit endgame just after Heaven's Ward's release. My first on-content clear was Thordan Extreme when it first came out. Or at least the first clear that I felt remotely proud of and like I didn't get carried by people in my FC. Excuse me. Yeah. And honestly, the only breaks I've ever taken, I took like a 4-month break in Heaven's Ward, and then in Dawntrail, I've taken like a 4-month break as well, 3 or 4. Those are like the only breaks I've ever had from the game. See your graphics set it? I mean, you can. They're nothing special though. Where is it? That's everything, right? And then this stuff as well. I have it locked to 60 FPS. If I don't lock it, it'll go up. Taking a forced break from 14? No internet? That's rough. I took a break, like, this patch, literally, just because... I mean, I'm gonna be real, I wasn't really enjoying logging in very much, and... I didn't want to force it, basically. So I didn't. It's also why I like stopped streaming for like 4 months, which as a content creator kind of fucks yourself, but I mean it is what it is. I wasn't enjoying playing the game, didn't want to log in, didn't want to play, so I just didn't. I can at least say that now, like 3 or 4 months later, I don't feel like, oh, I've got to log in anymore. I'm not at the point like, you know, when you first start playing a game, most of you have probably had this actually. When you first start playing 14 and everything's exciting and new and you're really hyped to do anything in the game. You're just like, you're just going to log in and find something to do, right? That's how I was at the start. I'm not like that anymore. I only log in if I already have something to do, right? Like right now, it's logging into stream and do whatever I'm doing on stream. Or if, like, friends ask me to do something, sure. Otherwise, I don't log in at the moment. Have you encountered someone? I mean, yeah, that happens occasionally. I've ran into someone doing it in PF as well, without letting the other people know. Naughty, naughty. Yeah, I didn't like the Astrodyne system. You know what's messed up, actually? Astro's best skill got deleted after Heavensward. Because they had Disable, which was it's basically Reprisal, right? And Disable had such a sick animation. And they got rid of it after Heavensward, and it's messed up. I still miss that skill. It had such a cool animation. Bring back Astro Reprisal, man. Bring it back. Oh. I had to relearn Astro for Fru. Up until this expansion, almost like in some cringe sense of protest, I basically hadn't played Astro since Heavensward. I was mostly shield healer for our group, right? So I suppose it kind of makes sense, but... So for Fru, because I was going back to regen for Fru, I had to learn Astro, and I was like, damn, Dawn Trail Astro is like a nothing. It's like a nothing job in terms of complexity, huh? Okay, 79, so we pop this, pop this. Do you think they know that we're not actually getting any value of them going for golds across the map? Do you think they know? Hey, Deso. How are you liking Q40? Don't like being forced to wait for light and dark to resolve before doing 2 towers. Wait, what bit are you talking about? Oh. Oh, yeah. Doobie, 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 doobie. Boss. Let's go. Okay. Let's see what we got. Well, that's not new. Okay. We got nothing again. Bro, look at this. because we keep doing 71 to 80, I've got 42 lilies. 42 lilies. Why do I have so many? Oh my god. Well, all of this stuff I do not need. Do I have time? Probably not. I don't think I have time to do a second one today. So I've got raid in 20 minutes. Well, prep for the raid in 20 minutes. So I think... I'm very sorry, BioRoxas. I think I have to end stream. Because I can't do another set. So I'm going to call it here. I will be streaming again tomorrow on YouTube and Twitch. And we will be doing something else. You will witness the birth of a legend tomorrow. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good rest of your day. I'll be around tomorrow at lunchtime, same time, same place, blah, blah, blah.